What's up, everyone? So this video is going to go over remote tuning costs versus like in-person and dyno tuning and explain why there's a difference. So I put up a poll on Instagram and here's the results right here. And you can see the question and everything. So the biggest difference is with remote tuning, it is remote. You don't bring any tuner to the car. No matter if it's with me, with other tuners. Remote tuning, it's, email tuning, whatever you want to call it. They send you a file, they send you some channels to log, or they should, and they tell you what to do with the car. So any troubleshooting is 100% on you. If you're the type of person that can't change your own spark plugs, if you can't figure out why a car doesn't run, remote tuning is probably not for you. Not saying that to be rude, but if you're remote tuning, your tuner's on the other side of the country or wherever they are, they're not with the car, and you start having issues, who's going to fix it? So with remote tuning, you're paying for the tune, that's it. So say you're paying $450 for a remote tune. That the tuner's getting $450 to tune the car. You need to buy your own HP tuners, a wideband, a computer, ProLink, depending on which HP tuners you have. You have to do all the data logging. This costs money. And these are pretty hard to find now, and they're not cheap. This computer costs money. The TV monitor costs money. Strapping a car takes time. Time equals money. The dyno costs money. The wideband costs money. You have to do all the troubleshooting. Everything is on you as the owner of the car, or whoever's doing the logging and loading the tunes and stuff. When you bring a car to me or to any tuner, you don't need HP tuners. You don't need a wideband. You just need a car. You take the car and you drop it off. You're not paying for credits. You're not paying anything. So say a $750 dyno tune. I'm doing the credits. I'm loading the files. I'm doing all the work. If things need to be troubleshooting, if any troubleshooting needs to be done, I'm doing that. If it's something that takes 5-10 minutes to troubleshoot, I'm not going to charge you for that. But if you're one of those guys that you can't work on your own car for some reason, but you're remote tuning, and then you got to take your car to a mechanic to have them find out you have a burnt spark plug wire, and he charges you $100 an hour to look at your car until he finds a burnt plug wire, that's another issue with remote tuning. Another thing too is mechanics always blame the tune. You can have a car that it's adding 20% fuel to one side, it's pulling 20% fuel away. GM computer, you can't tune individual cylinder tuning. It's not a Holley Dominator, it's not a Fuel Tech. So when that happens, it's always, a exhaust leak, a vacuum leak, an injector issue, something like that. A valve spring broke, wrong push rod, broken lifter, stuff like that. But mechanics will be like, it's the tune, and then they're still going to charge you for it. So let's take a basic LS car, like, a 2008, 2015, like LS car, like Camaro, like 5th gen, Corvettes, Chevy SS's, G8s. It's $100 to unlock the ECM, the TCM. If you need your fuel pump control module unlocked, it's another $50 for credits. Each credit's $50. So GM cars, the LS base, are usually 2 credits to unlock, maybe 3 depending on if you're doing fuel pump tuning. So that's $150 right there. So your remote tune, you pay for the tune, say $450. Now you as the end user, you also have to buy your own credits, license the file, on top of having your own HP tuners, having a laptop to do this, having a wideband to do it. Where if you bring the car in and pay $750, I'm doing the licensing, I'm doing the credits, I'm doing everything, I include everything. You just drop the car off, pick it up when it's done. Things I've seen on cars, I've seen people bring cars in with three steps colder spark plugs on a completely stock car. No idea why. I've seen cars with no IAT sensor that were supposedly tuned like that. The car's looking like a diesel rolling coal just trying to start because it's dumping so much fuel because the IAT is saying it's negative 40 degrees or something because it's not plugged in. There's definitely times where remote tuning people have these issues and they can't figure it out. Where if I have the car, I can just look under the hood. The first thing I do with the car when I tune in person is I pull the file off the car, look over the tune, and then I'll check the spark plugs. And then from there, I'll decide if I'm even going to baseline the car. Because sometimes the tune's so rough or the plugs look so rough, I'm not even going to baseline the car because I'd be worried it's going to blow up. And then here's some prices on some used dynos I found online. I'll put those right here. So these are used dynos. So you got to think of that too. If you're getting a dyno tune, why it costs more than your remote tune. So either the shop owns that dyno, the tuner works at the shop, the tuner's renting that dyno. Doesn't matter. Someone's paying for that dyno. So should your tune that's done on a $50,000 dyno with a wideband that costs $1,000 or whatever it costs for the dyno, should that tune be the same price as some dude that you meet at Walmart parking lot and tunes your car on the street with no wideband or no additional sensors and no control? Question's up to you, I guess, to answer. As for what's the better way to do, that's up to you. I've remote tuned cars that have made 1,000+ horsepower. I've street tuned cars that have ran single digits and never been on a dyno. Both my cars included. My Corvette ran 9s years ago before I ever touched a dyno. I went 10.2s, all motor, heads cam, never was on dyno. It wasn't until I got the stroker of the car ever went on dyno. The SS, I tuned it for the blower on the street and at the track. And then once I started messing with stuff, I started putting on a dyno just to see what certain things do, to get an idea of, hey, what's this feel do? What's this timing on the setup do? So if it's like some oddball combo your tuner's never done, it's probably best he does it in person or remote and you rent the dyno. If it's something like a cammed LS3, I can remote tune cammed LS3s all day long and they're going to make within probably 10 horsepower if I dyno tune it. I had one, I remote tuned it, and then he actually brought it to me, just throw it on a dyno to see what it does. And the remote tune trapped 130, cam only car, LS3, auto. And the remote tune, I got 2 more horsepower out of it on the dyno. So, you know, it's up to you. Data's data. As long as you get solid data for the tuner, it doesn't matter if it's on the street, the track, the dyno. But dynos are nice because it's a controlled environment. You don't have to worry about going to jail. You don't have to worry about crashing into anything. Another thing, I know this is common probably with a lot of tuners. They'll send a file out, tell a person, hey, don't do a full throttle pull yet, or just do a 1 gear pull. We got to see what the feeling is like, because sometimes it's off. Sometimes it's not perfect on the first file. And then the end user is like, all right, I got it. And then they go do a 0 to 150 pull with the air feels pretty lean and end up hurting the car and blame the tuner. That doesn't happen when you drop the car off. If I'm dynoing a car, I usually watch the wideband, and the second it goes lean, I'll just let up instead of, you know, doing a top speed mile-long pull with the car lean and hurting something. And I'll put some of the prices up here to show how much it costs to unlock stuff, like credit-wise, plus paying to get it unlocked. So you can see, like, you know, when these tunes are starting to cost you know, $1,400+ where a lot of that money is going to. So like I said earlier, it's not just, oh, I have your car, I'm taking a $1,400 profit today. So I'll use this section right here, over here, and I'll link it to HV Tuner's website. You can look at it yourself, and I'll put screenshots of it too. But thanks for checking out the video.